Welcome back once again to Photography Weekly. This is episode number 26. In this show, we're going to be talking about the first thing we're going to talk about is we're going to have a very quick look at the new Photoshop Elements 10 that was just released for download this week. So hopefully everybody watching this show, I'm sure you downloaded it already to start playing around with it. But I'm going to give you just a quick first look, a quick glance at a couple of the features that I found, and then you can start playing from there. Next, we're going to take a look at tethering and what is tethering, and I also found some free software for you guys for both Windows and the Mac, so I think we're going to be okay there. Then I had somebody watching the show, Jessica, came up with, and she been asking for a few weeks. She said, what is ISO and how can we use it to create a better image? So we're going to take a look at ISO along with tethering, so we can do all these and pulling all these together. And then we're going to, if we have enough time, we're going to wrap up talking about some basic lighting and what we can do to light a photograph. So let's go ahead and get started this week with Photography Weekly, episode number 26. Okay, very good. Well, you see a green screen sitting here behind me. I'm actually using that as a backdrop for the tethering part of this lesson. Now, you are going to find out, and what's going to happen today is I'm going to be more mobile than normal. Normally, I sit at this desk and we talk about different things and discuss photography. But today, I'm going to be more mobile. I'm using you can see already the lapel microphones on my shirt. And I'm going to be using that today to actually talk to you so I can show you some stuff on the table that I have set up here next to me. And I'll be moving some cameras around, so bear with me there today. Kevin, you got your laptop fixed. Congratulations on that. And just also looking in the chat room there at the same time. As I already said, if you have any questions during this live episode, please throw it in the chat room and I'll try to catch you there. I'll have to get the Skype working a little better, but I'm sure I can get that set up. So that is the basis of today. I'm going to be a little bit more mobile. We're going to have to deal with a camera change during the show. I got to move a camera around a little bit to get a better angle on the table I have set up. And I also set up a webcam to try to help out a little bit and talk about this stuff. So hopefully this is all going to work out okay for us, and I'm sure it will. First of all, did everybody see this week? It was released. Photoshop Elements 10. If you signed up early, I always sign up to get the email notification as soon as it's ready for download. So I signed up, and I actually got it downloaded, and I have it on my computer to give you a first look. So let's go ahead, and we're going to switch over there, and we're going to have a first look at it. Let me get some windows on my way here before we bring it up. I will drop this thing down there a little bit. Let me switch over here. We are going to switch over to my laptop. And now you guys should be seeing the laptop screen instead of me. And right here. So it says right at the very top there, folks, welcome to Adobe Photoshop Elements 10. And here's the kicker. As soon as you buy 9, 10's released, I mean, come on, people. Give us a good solid 12 months in between these releases. It's more like 9. Adobe has been with Apple for so long, and Apple does rebuilds every 9 months. I think Adobe does rebuilds every 9 months also. So I think that's where they came up with this. But as you see here, I'm on the Mac, and once again, it does come with the organizer and the editor. But what I wanted to take you today is we're going to take you directly into the editor, and I'm just going to show you a quick couple new features. And then I would suggest download the trial version. And when you load this, it's going to load into a separate directory anyway. So what I mean by that is you can have multiple copies of Photoshop Elements on your computer. And they do have an upgrade price, but it's $79. So, but take a look at it. I'm going to show you here the couple added features. So let me see if I can we'll bring up the editor. And then I'll have to bring up a picture in the editor so we can have a look at this. And this is just a firewall I got running here. Security is concept one. Is that what they always say? Right? You always got to worry about security. First thing it comes up, it says, let's take a look around. You can get a look and see what's new about the new Photoshop elements. Enter serial number. Right now I'm going to have a trial version. Mine is ordered. It's on its way. So I have to wait for it to get here. But we're going to just do a trial version like I do every time. It says to go ahead and log in. I will log into my account. Hopefully I didn't forget that password. I don't know why my Skype is, and I know what I changed it to. I'm sure they emailed it to me. Okay, so now we're going to go up. You can see the screens change colors a little bit, right? It's blue. Wow, it's something new. It's all blue. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look here with the new elements. I don't know why that's all locked up over there. Doesn't make much sense there. Let's see if this does it. And yeah, okay. That's weird. All right. Just seeing where we're at here this morning. All right. Looks like the you guys are where I'm at here. So we're ready to go. All right. Now, the first thing you notice is it looks exactly like the old one, right? There's not much difference there. I'm going to change this presenter here so we can just get the elements in there. Let's change this to windowed, and we're going to change this to editor. Okay. So now you're seeing the editor up on the screen. So now I need a picture in there so I can show you a couple new features that I found that I kind of like. I think it's important that you see these. Is it going to change the way you work? No, probably not. Did they give us some new things to play with? Yeah, they did. So I think that's important. Let me just see if I have a picture in here somewhere. I'll get the ones I was playing around with this morning. Let's see here. No, I gotta find something decent to work with. Don't want to show you the other ones because then you'll say, what were you taking pictures of that for? Well, maybe we will. I don't have anything better to show you here. Let's see. Because my wife was too. She's like, why are you taking pictures of a pledge can? All right. That's a preview. I don't want that. We want to right click on this. So I'm just going to open it with, and 10 will be there now. Okay. So this is just, again, I was actually playing with the laptop with tethering this morning. So this is where this came from. So don't get alarmed. I'm not doing. It'd be nice if I got hired by Pledge to do some product photography. That'd be great. But what I wanted to show you here first of all was we'll do a Control J like normal. So everything that normally works that I found so far. What I want to show you here is that we're going to do a cropping. And you know how the rule of thirds works. We talked about the rule of thirds before. So now I'm going to show you here with a crop of how the new cropping feature works. So let's just crop this out. Now what they do is when you're cropping, if you can see this on the video, they give you the rule of thirds. So you have your 9 blocks here, and you can actually adjust this to where you want to crop. You can move it over to the left a little bit. You can move the whole box now. Just like so. So if you want that can to be on one side or the other, you would do something like this and crop it. And there you go. Now using the rule of thirds, you're able to see the rule of thirds now with the new cropping tool. Let's undo that. Let's go back to crop again. They also have a few other ones here. And what you'd want to do is go right here where it says overlay. Click the pull down menu. There is grid version, which now you can have a lot of different grids on there when you're cropping. Again, it helps you when you're looking at this thing to move around back and forth to set up where you want to do your crops. And then golden ratio. Golden ratio, from what I've read so much, is the same as rule of thirds, but your screen is almost split into, I believe it's 12 or 18 pieces. And you can move these dots around and actually have this in different places here. So you're still doing basically the same as you did with the rule of thirds, but you have a lot more control, is what they're saying. So just like so, and then it cropped it out. So there you go. We're going to undo that. Under the, let's see where I'll take you next. No, let me take you next to the text. And I haven't figured out how to use all this yet, but this is pretty cool. If you right click on your text box, you now have what they call text on a custom path. For those of you who out there who do scrapbooking, you may like this feature. Basically, before we could only put text into a box. I'm going to try to switch cameras as we go along here. So before, we used to only be able to put text inside of a box and put it up or down, right, or left or right, vertical or horizontal. Now what they're allowing us to do is they're allowing us to take this text and put it on a path. In a path, if you use Photoshop CS, you know that a path is just that. It's a line or something in a path. They also allow you to do text on a shape tool, which that's pretty cool. And then text on a selection tool. So that's also nice because now you can make a selection of something and it will follow the path of the selection. So let's just say, first of all, move my mouse back over here. Let's get back on my computer. First of all, we're going to do text on a shape tool. So here it is. We're going to have a shape here. Let's see here. Let's do this shape. And then we're going to do text on a shape tool. Yeah, maybe. But now you see here, we can type right here on this shape. Well, maybe we need to get a better color in here, right? Let's get something or larger. Larger color. We'll do black. And it does not want to type on there for me. And as you can see, this is live TV, so let's take this back. All right. We're going to have to work on that one. Like I said, it's new, and I haven't had this that long either. I did do text on a custom path. This is text on a custom path. Say if we want text up here, we can now do a custom path. And then we will start typing our text on here. We need a better, well, make it bold maybe. Make it a little larger here. Then you'll see text on a path. Try white. And watch how it goes up the path. So that is text on a path. So now you can make a line any way you want and anywhere on the photograph and actually make the text bend to where you want it. Once you're done, just hit the check button, and now the text is actually on a path. You can move this path around. Yeah, let's try to stretch it out a little bit. So you can see that you can actually, once you're done, you can click over here on the move tool, and then you can just move your path around to wherever you may want to move it. And you can have more fun with it. So that is text on a path. Let's get that out of there. Like I said, download this and play around with it. Get rid of all that. The next thing is under guided edit that I found. There's a new guided edit tool. There's a couple here that I liked. First one, if you remember a while back, I think the last time, 2 times ago when I was in a hotel room, we did picture stacking. We did picture stacking with shapes. I took boxes or frames and I cut the picture up. Well, check this out. They must have watched that video and said, we could probably do this better than Jack can. Here's our picture, and there's something here now called picture stack. Let me see if I can bring this up to you guys. Let's see. Cancel that a minute. Okay, you should be able to see it better there now. Picture stack. They got that. Pop art is the 2 new ones. Stack and pop art. Pop art I wasn't impressed with. Stack I was. Let's go to photo stack. Let's do 8 pictures on this picture right here. So I'm just going to click on that and sit back and let Elements do its magic. And that's it's working on it there for us. And there you go. So now Elements actually took that picture and did pretty much what we did by hand before. So let's go here and change the frame size. Make it even larger. And now you can see that's pretty much what I did by hand before. Took the picture, actually cut it up, and stacked it on different frames there. The effect, I guess it looks close to what we did, but I think the one we did by hand a few months ago was even better than this. So it's kind of what I feel anyway. I don't know what you guys think. You could do, that's 8 pictures. Oh, it's going to do it again. Here, cancel. We're going to do 4 pictures if you want to have 4 stacked. And again, it's cutting it up here for us so we can get a look. And there you go. So that's 4. So I just wanted to throw that out there to you and let you see how that actually works. And that, again, that's just a couple little things. I'm sorry that the okay, I didn't practice the text on a shape too much. Let me bring you back over here. Yeah, I didn't practice the text on a shape, and I'm sorry about that. But the other stuff worked okay. So I'm going to turn real quick here to the chat room, and we're going to take a look here. I'm going to close out Elements Editor because we are done with it now. We're not going to save any of the pictures. Get rid of that. Okay, let's see here. Put that back up. Let me turn to the chat room here real quick and see what's going on over here. We can switch cameras over here. Yep, there we go. A good place to monitor a little better there, being that's the built-in eyesight camera. And good morning, Dan. I see you in there now. Fabian, good morning to you. Got you back. And everybody else I already said good morning to before that segment started. Jessica said $80. Sounds like it's great. Just because you deserve a gift. And I hear you. I believe you. I bought a gift yesterday, actually. My wife went out with me to the brewing store, you know, where you buy boxes of beer to make. It's kind of another hobby I picked up. So that was a present to me. I bought a new box of beer that we're going to brew here. Just checking here. Kevin says to get it, Jessica. And Jessica, I don't know if you can download the whole thing or not. I imagine you can because I downloaded the trial version and installed it. And then you would go ahead and you would purchase it, and they would give you a key, and then you would just put that key in there because what you download is the full version. So I bet you can have it by this afternoon. I'm sure of that. And June, you need to see about getting that. You're still on version 6. June, you need to upgrade. You need to upgrade. You're going to see different things during this show that you're going to say, I wish I could do that. Yeah, definitely upgrade. And June, you're going to probably have to buy the full version because you haven't upgraded all along. Okay. Kevin's still on 7. He needs to upgrade also. And honestly, guys, I mean, if I didn't teach Photoshop Elements, maybe I would still be on 7. I don't know that to be sure. But being I teach it and Adobe doesn't give it to me, I buy it just like you do. Sometimes I may say because I can buy the education edition, but other than that, that's about it. Everybody, if you're not watching the chat room, if you're just viewing this live on Justin TV, Amazon is offering a Adobe Photoshop Elements 10 upgrade for $74.99, which is $5 off the regular upgrade price. That's the lowest price that was found out there. Thank you very much, Dan, for the information. And it says to pre-order. But you've already seen a few people receive their copies from Amazon. And Kevin, you didn't see where the download was. Maybe they emailed that to me because I've been emailing them different stuff back and forth. Maybe they just sent me a download link. I will, you know what? The download link I received in my email, you guys can try it later. I'll put it in the show notes and we'll see if it works. And it will be in the show notes now. It's not going to be on the YouTube video, okay? I'm not going to give it out there to everybody, but I will give it out there to you guys. And maybe, let me see here real quick. Let me just see if I can do this real fast. I'm just looking to see if I can find it right now. David B., good morning. Good morning, Dennis. Good to have you in there. Good to get everybody in there again. We are going to be getting into our segment on tethering. Holy cow. Okay. I was saying that because Skype sent me this major password thing back. Maybe this is it. Nope. Free trial is now available. Let me see where the download link is, and you guys will have it here in just a minute. Give me just a second. Bear with me. Need to shut that thing off. That's an email notifier, actually, is what you might have heard there. Here, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this one up. Looks pretty much official. Looks like their page. So we'll see how this goes. Okay. Now you guys keep watching the show also, but yeah, that's not going to do it. Hold on. That's definitely not going to do it. Here you go. Here is a good morning, RI. There's a download link, Kevin. Try that one. See if it comes up okay. And good morning to everybody in there. Everybody's coming on board. David B., good morning to you, sir. All right. Good morning. Okay, guys, I'm going to bring this up just for one quick second here just to go over this. Good morning, everybody in there. And let's see here. The show notes I was talking about, if you want to get the show notes here for the shows, okay, what I'm doing now is I'm putting them on my new and improved, fantastic and great looking website, jackstechcorner.com. But if you click on show notes, you'll get the more up-to-date show notes. If I talk to you about any links or anything, they're going to be listed there, not on the YouTube page. The only thing on the YouTube page is if I mention a download link that I want to give to everybody, but these are more geared to you folks, to people that watch the live show and that know about me. So that's why I want to kind of guide you into here. For you watching on YouTube that don't know anything about me, please check out the DVD collections, and everybody in the live shows can tell you that you're going to learn a lot about photo editing. So check out the photo collections there or the DVD collections. Check those out. The current show, once I post on YouTube, is posted under current show, just so you guys see that. Flickr group is very important. Go to Flickr, get a free account on Flickr, and join Jack's Tech Corner. We would love to have you there. Post some of your work, and then what I have here is a slideshow that pulls from that Flickr group, so we can share all your stuff along with mine and everybody else's with the world. So that is that part of it. The next part we're going to do here, since we are about 30 minutes into the show, we do have to have our special commercial announcement. So we're going to go ahead and run that, if I can find it here. And I'll be back with you in 58 seconds, but I'll be watching the chat room. Green Screen Wizard for all your green screening needs. From standalone software to plugins to the green screens themselves. Ken is the man you want to go to. Longtime photographer and programmer, Ken has pulled both of his talents together to create the easiest green screen processes. And one hosting services. Do you need a personal website, or do you have a business looking for a company with dependability and support, yet at a reasonable cost, not to break the bank? One does it all. Websites, domain names, email services, and even remote servers. To order any of these products, go to my website, jackstechcorner.com, and click on the graphics on the left side of the page. Now, back to learning. What we're going to talk about now is tethering, or the act of hooking the camera up to the actual Good, thanks, Kevin. We're going to talk about hooking the camera up to the actual computer itself. And the act of that is called tethering. Now, why do we want to do that? Well, I'm going to bring up a camera here and try to show you the best I can. Now, this is live, and I got to move some stuff around. But I want to show you how I have it set up and what we're going to use tethering for. Okay? Now, let me see here. Let's get some of these screens moved out of the way. Might as well close Skype because that's done for the day. We're not going to use Skype. Put my chat room over here. And I will open the software up here. The software that I'm currently using is called Studio Tether. It's STUDIO TETHER. Studio Tether. And it's free software. It's absolutely free, and these will be in the show notes. This particular copy of this program is used on the Mac. Now, I did find a free program also for everybody out there with Windows, because I know a lot of you are running Windows. So I found that also. Your camera, here is the camera, and already I see that I am not liking the angle of this camera, of my video camera here. So let me go ahead and adjust that video camera. I'm going to throw you on another one here, so bear with me. And we will move over here to another camera. This camera. Everybody see my penguin up there on top? How about that, huh? See, I'm Kevin. I'm a Linux fan. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to look at some camera angles here when I'm over here. This is a camera here. This is a webcam, so it's not great quality. The lighting's pretty good with it. But I'm going to be able to talk to you here, and I'm going to switch the other camera around now so we can get a look at the table I have set up and talk a little bit about tethering and what we did, or what I did, to make this work. So as I walk around the room here, we should be good. I'm going to move a camera here. thing about live shots and live TV there. You get around the back of this camera, so you should not see me right now. I'm sorry about that. Could be lucky though, right? Try to set this up like this, I think. All right. So hopefully now we got everything going here. Let me see. We're going to switch back to another camera, to my other camera, my other camcorder camera. So bear with me here, guys. You get my long shot here. So now you can already see the table I have set up. You see that. You can see the tripod sitting on the one side of it there. And this is going to help us into that conversation that Jessica asked about last week, is ISO. What is ISO and what's it used for? And I thought if I could run these two lessons together, I thought we're going to have a lot more fun. I like demo lessons. You know, it's more active. Have to get the air conditioner out of my room because it's a little chilly up here. Okay. So as I said, bear with me there a little bit with these camera movements. Okay. So I have my camera here. This is the newest addition to the family here, the D7000. And what we're going to talk about today is hooking this up to the computer. We're going to do that with the supplied USB cable. If you look in your box that came with your camera, you probably have a USB cable. Most cameras today have the ability to be hooked up to the computer in this manner. Okay, so we should be good there. You should be allowed to do that because you're going to hook it up anyway to transfer your pictures. The trick is will your camera have the ability to do tethering, or the act of hooking the computer or the camera to the computer and then controlling the camera from the computer. That's the fun part. That's where it gets in, not just transferring pictures. And also when we're doing this, what we're doing is, this is nice for studio settings. It's nice for this kind of stuff, macro lighting, and playing with lighting. You probably seen my pictures on Facebook yesterday. But what makes this nice is it gives you a bigger screen, especially when you're doing studio shooting. Or if you have somebody sitting on your stool, you know, you're doing some portrait work with your family member, it gives you a nice way to see the picture blown up. So they're looking on the small screen on the back. Okay. Most cameras have anywhere from a 2 to 3 inch LCD screen on the back of them. So there you have it. It's kind of small. We're going to open this up. We're going to plug it in here. Take the lens cap off, right? Don't need that. And I do have a USB extension cable is what I use. I use a USB extension cable. You pick these up for, I don't know, about 10 or 15 bucks. Because this is not long enough to get you away from the computer far enough, right, when you're doing this. And I think you're going to enjoy the software here I'm going to show you. So we're going to set that up. Then we are going to plug this in. All right. Just like so. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll throw this up in a portrait mode, like this. Just getting it lined up here, folks. Just bear with me. Okay. Bring my flash back out of the way. We may not get to the lighting portion of this show today. Let's bring this back. At that point, once everything's lined up, I just have to turn the camera on. We're going to turn the camera on, and then what we want to happen is, we want to actually happen on the computer, there's going to be software that comes up. Well, we hope so, because we have so much going into that computer right now, so much stuff going on with it. And it did. The software did come up. Now, what we're going to look at now is, let me switch back over to this screen over here. So what I have right here, if you can see this, this is picked up my camera array, the D7000. Try to bring this in here so you can see it better. Right there, it picked up my camera, the D7000. It also picked up on here is, this is our shutter speed. That's what this is indicating here, the shutter speed. The f-stop, and it picked up the ISO settings. Now, if you have your camera in a full manual mode, that's what you want to do, you keep your camera in a manual mode, then you can go ahead and adjust all those settings as you are working with your camera without having to go back to the camera each and every time. All right. Now, the preferences on this thing are pretty straightforward. Click that off. It just asks you here where you want to store your pictures at, and mine's just going to the pictures folder, and it's opening it in preview. So let's go ahead here. We're sitting here at the desk. I'm not in front of the camera. We can see that just by looking here. I'm not at the camera right now, but we are going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the shutter on the computer and take a picture. And hopefully you heard that. We'll go back to the Mac here. And here is the first shot. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to sit here, snap a picture, and then it comes right up on the computer. So that's what makes it really, really nice when you're doing this, because it makes it to the point where you don't have to worry too much about standing behind the camera. You know, except when you're recomposing a shot or something like that. Then you would have to actually worry about getting back up there and recomposing a shot. So now, once I showed you tethering and you said, well, Jack, that's cool. I know how to do that now. Hook the computer to the camera via USB port. Just like that camera sitting there. It's all hooked up and ready to go. Now we're going to show you about ISO. Now let me show you something right now is there's nothing changing on that scene over there. The lighting is all staying the same. It's constant. But the picture, look at this picture here. The picture is very, very dark that's coming out of that camera right now. Now we are shooting at 1/25th of a second, so we have a very, very fast shutter speed going off there. And I was going to mic that so you can hear the shutter, but I didn't figure it was necessary. And you might even be hearing it from this microphone, I'm not sure. But let's go ahead and change our ISO settings and run it up. Again, I would suggest that you take your aperture setting as low as possible, right? Because you want as much light to go in that camera as possible. You don't want to close the aperture down, so you don't want a high setting. I want to confuse me, but let's try 800, same shutter speed, and we'll take a picture again. Now you can see right here, we start to get a little bit more light into that. There's a little bit more light coming through, and you can see that I'm using that green screen as a background there. Now if we take that, and in modern day cameras, a lot of people used to say when I taught these classes on ISO, Jack, if I run my ISO setting up, I'm going to be grainy, it's going to be terrible, the quality is going to be awful. That's not really the case anymore. With modern day sensors on these cameras, you're going to be just fine. Let's go ahead to 1600. We doubled it. Let's shoot it. Here you go. Hopefully you're catching on now that the image itself, and look, again, let's go back over here. Let's go back to our long shot. I'm not changing anything. These lights up here that you see on top are not on. They're totally off. Those are just there because I've been playing around a lot with flash photography and working with some flash stuff with this. So that's why they're there, but they're not being used. All we are doing is changing ISO settings. You can see it right here. Let's go now to 32. I'm going to double it again. The normal act is to double it out, and once you get to that point that you really like it, then you can work backwards a little bit. Now there's another trick. If your camera's on a tripod, this is just for out there, and I tell you folks all the time, that's what my kids are good at. Now they're getting older and they're starting to catch on, like, why does Dad allow us to carry the tripod? We want to carry the camera. So they are catching on, but here, this is something I want to show you. If you have a tripod, we can set this down to 800. Take your shutter speed and slow it down, okay? Make sure you have a tripod, because if you do not, you're going to get camera shake. You can't hold a camera with that shutter open. You just can't do it. I don't care if you think you're Stone Man. You cannot hold a camera long enough to do that. Let's go back up here. We're going to slow it down to, let's try 8. So this time the ISO settings at 800. And here, let me see if I can pull this up here. The ISO settings at 800, and the shutter speed is at 8. The aperture is staying constant. The f-stop for the aperture is staying constant. Let's go ahead and shoot that. Now look how much brighter we got. Why did that happen? Basically that happens because we are leaving the shutter stay open longer to grab as much light in the room as possible. That is exactly why that's happening. And then you can tone that down a little bit just by taking your ISO and going backwards now. Let's go to 400. Now look, now we actually toned it down. And again, I didn't add any light, we didn't take any light away, we didn't do anything with lighting. All we're playing with is aperture. All we're playing with is shutter speed and ISO settings, because I want you to see that they're very much related. They're very much entangled with each other. To adjust one is to adjust the other. And again, this is all on manual mode. I'm not doing anything with any automatic settings. And I teach this in my classes. If you want to learn a camera, and I know a lot of you do out there already watching this, keep your camera in manual mode. We could tone that down a little bit even more. We'll go to 200. 200 on ISO, and you can see now we have the light toning itself back down. And when you do this, you have to take a lot of shots. That's why this tethering is so important, and that's why it looks so nice. Well, everybody, thanks again for watching this week's Photography Weekly. This was episode number 26, and you are watching me, Jack, on Jack's Tech Corner. Please join us each and every Sunday morning. I've seen a lot of new folks in there this week in the live channel. And hey, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you picked up something from the show. And, hopefully I gave you some more knowledge that you can start using for your photography and your photographic abilities. So join us next week. And hey, if you're coming to us from YouTube, remember, it's live.jackstechcorner.com each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on over and join the live show there, the live chat, and I'm sure you'll pick up something also. Either not from me, you may pick it up from the folks in the chat room. So, until next week, as always, keep those shutters clicking, keep the editors editing, tether your computer, tether your camera to your computer, and play around a little bit with ISO settings and shutter speeds and learn how they work together. I'll see you back here next week on Jack's Tech Corner. Bye for now.